Until the stars forget us. The night sky was clear the first time they met, as if the universe had made space in its chaos for something rare. Under a canopy of stars, at a small observatory tucked away in the hills of Tuscany, Alessia leaned against the balcony railing, lost in the comfort of quiet skies. She wasn't there for romance. She was escaping, running from a world of responsibilities, from a wedding she wasn't ready for, from a life that felt more like an obligation than a choice. "Do you always stare at stars like they'll answer you?" a voice asked from behind. Startled, Alessia turned. A man stood there, his hair tousled from the wind, his dark eyes curious but kind. He wasn't handsome in the usual way, but something about his presence drew her in, solid, steady, as though he'd been standing there her whole life, waiting for her to notice. "Sometimes," she replied. "They're better listeners than people." He smiled. "True. But I hear I'm a close second." She laughed despite herself. That was how it began, with a laugh that echoed softly under the stars. His name was Luca, an astrophysicist who spent more time talking to galaxies than people. Over the course of the week, they spoke often, first over coffee in the observatory's quiet cafe, then during long walks through olive groves, and eventually, in hushed whispers beneath the stars. He told her about his research, how he believed the universe carried memories in the light of distant stars. She told him things she hadn't told anyone, not even her fiancé. They didn't mean to fall in love. But love has a way of blooming in silence, in glances, in conversations that make you feel seen for the first time. On her last night there, she stood on the hill where they had watched constellations together. She knew what she had to do. She couldn't marry a man who didn't make her feel like this, like the world was bigger, more beautiful. Just because he was in it. Luca stood beside her, hands in his pockets. "I'm leaving tomorrow," she said quietly. "I know. I don't know what comes next." He looked up at the sky. "The stars will still be here. And so will I." They didn't kiss. They didn't make promises. But something passed between them that night, an unspoken vow to remember. 5 years later. Life has a cruel way of pulling people apart. Alessia moved to Milan. She became a journalist. She built a life for herself, one that was quieter, more authentic. She never got married. And though she met people, kind people, interesting people, none of them were Luca. Every year, on the anniversary of their last night, she'd drive to that same hill and look up at the stars. She never saw him again, but the sky felt closer when she was there. Then, one summer evening, a letter arrived. It wasn't signed. "Do you remember the Perseids? They peak this year on August 12th. I'll be where we left off. If you've forgotten, that's okay. But I haven't." She stared at it for a long time, heart pounding. August 12th. The hill looked the same, wild grass, the scent of lavender on the breeze, and a sky just beginning to blush with dusk. He was there. Older. His hair a little grayer, his face a little more tired. But it was him. "Luca. I didn't think you'd come," he said. "I wasn't sure if I would," she admitted. "But then I remembered. I never stopped looking up." They sat in silence for a while, watching streaks of light cross the sky like wishes unraveling. "I thought of you every year," he said. "But I didn't reach out because I didn't want to interrupt your life." "You were never an interruption," she whispered. "You were the only part that made sense." He turned to her. "Then let's not waste what's left." She smiled, tears glinting in the starlight. "Do we have time?" "As much as the universe will give us." 18 months later. Luca was dying. It wasn't sudden. The diagnosis came like a slow eclipse, darkening everything bit by bit. A rare form of leukemia, aggressive and relentless. There were treatments, trials, but none of them slowed it for long. They married quietly, just the two of them, in the chapel near the observatory. "Not till death do us part," she told him. "Until the stars forget us." And so, in the time they had, they lived deliberately. They traveled when he was well enough. She wrote a book about their story. He taught students from his hospital bed, still believing in galaxies and hope. On the last night, she brought him to the observatory, wrapped in blankets, oxygen at his side. "It's a clear night," he murmured. "Just like the first one." She held his hand. "I'm right here." He smiled. "Then I'm home. Now." Every year, Alessia still returns to the hill. She speaks to the stars, to the memory of him, and sometimes, just sometimes, she thinks the sky whispers back. His name lives in the pages of her books. His laugh echoes in her dreams. And his love, quiet, fierce, eternal, remains written across the constellations. They promised to love until the stars forgot them. And even now, the stars remember. Like and share this video and don't forget to follow us for more stories like this.